Welcome back to another episode of Sip to Tally Films. And today, we're just going to take a look at the random things that came across my desk. We got 5 things we're going to talk about, and I'll show you the little lineup. Let's show you what we got going on today. Where is it? There it is. So on June 23rd, 2025, these are the 6 things I'm going to be talking about. Chasing Jaire, 7 different Ravens on the hot seat, a 53-man prediction, one of our overlooked players. That dead money shouldn't be there. So we just got 5. We don't have 6. That dead money shouldn't be there. I guess I mistakenly edited wrong. But matter of fact, I'm gonna fix it. Let me fix it real quick. Don't take long. Won't take long at all. Y'all can bear with me. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all me fixing it. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all me fixing it. You get to see some of the editing process. Where's my scene so you can see that side? Yeah, I'll show you me fixing it. That way you can kind of see a little what goes on behind the scenes of doing a little bit of this, that, and the other. And with that, open recent. Let's show overlay. There we go. I'll come in right here. Delete this dead money. Take this there. Cut. Paste. Delete. Then file. Save as a copy. Files everywhere. Files everywhere. Let's see if it act right on the screen. Let's see. So it's good there. Let's minimize this. See, there we go. And there we go. Just like that. Just like that. What's good, everybody? I appreciate y'all. And I took y'all on that little journey with me. But let's kind of get into the different things that we have on the schedule for today. So the first thing is chasing Jaire. And if you don't know, the Ravens' pursuit of Jaire Alexander didn't just happen here. And I'm going to read something to you from Ebony Bird. Matter of fact, I'll put that up on the screen as I read it. And most of these stuff come from different things that I've seen come across my desk between last night and today. So, I'm laughing at the comments. But I'm just going to share them with you, and you can tell me whether you agree, disagree. Like or dislike, or is it phony or what? But I'm gonna bring it to you raw, just like this. All right, here we go. So again, this one is from Ebony Bird, and it says everybody's been talking about the Baltimore Ravens' newest addition, 2-time Pro Bowler Jaire Alexander. The former college teammate of Lamar won a chance to reunite with 2-time MVP. But while Alexander's release was a final long-awaited decision by the Green Bay Packers, it wasn't his immediate free agency that piqued the Ravens' interest. In fact, the Ravens have been interested in acquiring Alexander in one way or another for a while now. So it goes on to say, and this is from Jeremy Fowler, the Ravens reportedly flirted with the idea of trading for Alexander back in March. This is when his status was uncertain, and you would have had to give up something to get him. And the next bold point says the Ravens' patience with Jaire Alexander paid off, and it could continue to pay dividends. Ravens was patient with the Alexander situation, and that likely means that DeCosta knew that former Packers cornerback wasn't going to generate the trade interest Green Bay was originally hoping for. He had to have known that ultimately Green Bay was going to release him, and he'd end up moving on. At that point, the Ravens could make that move, and they did. So, again, another thing where, I was kind of bigging up Eric DeCosta the other day on my last live. I had him as probably the 4th or 5th best GM. This is one of them instances where his patience paid off. We didn't have to give up draft capital to get Jaire, because if we would have did it in March, you would have had to trade him plus maybe a person or some draft picks or something like that. But now you got him, and you might have had to take on some of what his original salary was for Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken. Cap people in the chat or in the comment section. Let me know if we would have traded for him. We would have had to pay what Green Bay was paying him, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But since we waited till he was released, we was able to negotiate a different contract. We got him for a $4 million base, $6 million possible overall for 1 year. And you can't beat that for a player of Jaire's status. If he can stay healthy, that secondary, and I've said it before, it's going to be really, really good if he can stay healthy. As long as they get their terminology and their communication down, that secondary is really, really, really going to be good. But as for that, Jaire now has a chance to play with Lamar, a guy that he played with at Louisville. And Nitro said something on his channel a couple days ago, and it really has resonated with me about leveraging your star players to get other players. And it makes more sense the more I think about it. Because players, for some odd reason or another, love playing with Lamar. Love. And if the money works, with the Ravens, bring them on. Bring them on. Now, we don't have any money right now. I think we got like $1 million, but it is what it is. Let's go on to our second thing for today. Our second thing for today, I think it's the 7 Ravens on the hot seat. Let me go back and check. 7 Ravens on the hot seat, exactly. All right. So this article is from MSN, and it gives you a list of 7 Ravens that are on the hot seat. Hey Heather, how you doing? Hey Clot, what's good? What's good? P Brown, Chef. I know who that is. I just can't think his name. Zeke Okage, Iron Pablo. That's Dre. That's Dre from Hawaii. That's what it is. That's Dre. Haitian Chris, Cam, what's good? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate it. All right, so this one is from MSN. It says 7 Ravens that are on the hot seat. And this is what I want to see if you guys agree with this or not. So let me, as I read through them, you guys let me know if you agree with this article or not. These are not my words. These are their words. All right. First one, Lamar Jackson. I vehemently, and I don't even know if I'm using that word right, disagree that Lamar Jackson's on the hot seat. But this is what it said. This is what the article says. Lamar Jackson nearly won his 3rd MVP award last season. Is it above my head? Let me scroll up just a little so y'all can see it. All right. Lamar Jackson nearly won his 3rd MVP award last season. And offensive creator Todd Monken believes the best is yet to come for his all-pro quarterback. Now, I do agree with that. Last season, the 28-year-old Jackson set career highs in touchdown passes, 41, passing yards, 4,172, and quarterback rating, 119.6, while throwing just 4 interceptions, one of which I think was his fault. I think one of those interceptions were his fault. Goes on, it's always a but when it comes to Lamar. Still, he's yet to reach a Super Bowl, and the pressure continues to mount. I disagree that there's pressure on Lamar. 100% disagree. While other fan bases, namely the Bills, will say it is, or now even the Eagles. I don't know why they're on the Lamar hate train, I guess, other than the one little clown, but it's wild. It's wild. All right. Second one, Andrew Voorhees. We know, and John has kind of come out and said that there's a left guard competition. It says Ronnie Stanley has all-pro potential. Tyler Linderbaum is a Pro Bowler. Roger Rosengarten could earn a Pro Bowl nod in 2025. And Daniel Falele was a Pro Bowl alternate in 2024. Let me slow that down for you. Daniel Falele was a Pro Bowl alternate in 2024. Voorhees was the initial starter at left guard in 2024 before suffering an injury and getting benched in favor of Patrick McCarry for weeks 4 and 5. Before the move was made permanent, the former USC star should get the nod heading to training camp and needs to perform. So, I do think Voorhees' seat is hot. And while originally I thought it would have been hot with Emory Jones from LSU, I think his seat is hot with Ben Cleveland. That's who I think Voorhees' seat is hot. Is his biggest competition is Ben Cleveland. I just think Ben he got that 1-year deal, and we love comp picks. They may throw Ben in there, let him do what he do, and let somebody else sign him, and there go another comp pick. So Ben got the comp pick thing in his side, on his favor to get in and go play over Voorhees. But we'll see how that pans out in the training camp coming up in about 3 weeks. I think it started July. The rookie started July 15th. So the veterans start in a month. The veterans start July 22nd. So the veterans will be there a month from today. Rookie start on July 15th, which is 3 weeks from now. All right, let's go on. Next is David Ojabo. What it says about David Ojabo, things can only go up for David Ojabo after he played in 13 games last season. He has 4 sacks in his first 3 seasons. Yeah, I said that. He has 4 sacks in his first 3 seasons. That's under 1 sack a season. That's under 1 sack a season. It's now or never for the former Michigan pass rusher. This one I agree with as well. 4 sacks, and I know he was hurt, when he got drafted. But 4 sacks and 3 sacks in 4 seasons? Oh, I said that wrong. He had 4 sacks in 3 seasons, so he has a little bit over 1. My bad, I said that wrong. A little bit over 1 in 3 seasons. Math wasn't mathing just then. So y'all know we don't like injured Bo, because he just can't stay on the field, and when he's on the field, he's just like a shell of what we saw in college, which another name also triggers me every time I talk about David Ojabo. And for those that have been here, from day one or for a while, y'all know the other name that to me that's synonymous with David Ojabo that now plays for the Cowboys. I ain't gonna call it, but you know who I'm talking about. All right. Why on earth would there be pressure on Malachi Starks? Let's read what it says. It says the Ravens, let me get out the way. There he is. The Ravens got their man, pairing Georgia All-American defensive back Malachi Starks with All-Pro safety Kyle Hamilton. Baltimore was able to get a talented defensive back without having to trade up in the draft or part ways with assets. Washington should return from his Achilles injury at some point and can play safety and nickel. While Humphrey plays outside and in the slot, Nate Wiggins, Owuzie are on the outside, and they don't mention Jaire Alexander. I don't understand why there's pressure or why Malachi Starks will be on the hot seat. I disagree with this one. Like, anything we get out of Starks should be bonus. Should be bonus because he's a rookie. He's a rookie. Anything we get out of him should be bonus. And the thing is, if he don't play well, you got 2 guys behind him that can come in that are not rookies, even though they got 1 year on him, but still. To me, there's no pressure on Malachi Starks, so I disagree with them having Malachi Starks on here. All right, the next one. OC Todd Monken. And you can see the other 3 behind me, so it is what it is. Todd Monken is entering his 3rd season coaching Lamar Jackson and expects the quarterback's growth to continue and reach another level as he enters the prime of his career. The Ravens OC will be tasked with maintaining the NFL's most explosive rushing attack while taking advantage of the passing offense that now includes DeAndre Hopkins to the wide receiver trio and 2 elite tight ends. I can kind of agree with this one with Todd, and more so postseason wise. We have to score points in the postseason because even I know we spend money on defense, we go get these defensive players, we still don't get turnovers on defense. So that's more pressure on you as a coordinator. I got to score every freaking time we get down there. And that pressure is immense. And if it was immense on me at the level I was at, imagine what it is in the NFL level. Going into a game plan figuring you have to score almost every time because your defense ain't gonna stop nobody. That's pressure. So it's a lot. And you feel like anytime you don't go out there and score, it's gonna be the time that they get away from you and you can't catch up. So hopefully we'll get some turnovers and it won't be as hard to score points. Because getting turnovers, all that does is add to your opportunity to get points. Because you get a pick and you return to 30 yards, you during that field goal range already, unless you pick it in the end zone. A sack fumble. Sack fumble could be a during their touchdown, depending on, where the ball bounced. Because, if the defensive end get it, offensive lineman ain't going to catch him. Only chance they might have to catch him is a quarterback or a running back. And then just regular fumbles, we just got to create them, man. That's all. Now, this next one, John Harbaugh. Harbaugh has won over 62% of his games with 172 to 104 win-loss total. He's above 500 during the postseason with a mark of 13-11. He's won a Super Bowl. Still, the NFL is what have you done for me lately? And it just stops right there. So probably some words left off, but we know. I feel like with the team that we have on paper, the minimum for Harbs this year, but he got the extension, so they probably ain't gonna fire him because he just got the extension. But on paper, he has to get to the Super Bowl, and some would say he has to win it. I think the minimum is he got to get to the Super Bowl. But everybody else would say you got to win it. So I think there's an enormous amount of pressure on John Harbaugh. I do agree with that one. Then the last guy is Trent Simpson. It says with Malik Harrison and Chris Board departing in free agency, John Harbaugh confirmed that Simpson would be the first up in the battle at linebacker. Simpson was productive over Baltimore's first 11 games, logging 65 tackles, 34 solo, but he was a liability in the passing game, which strikes me crazy because of how athletic he is. He is super duper athletic, and he can't function in the pass game. But Eddie Jackson and never mind. Simpson was entirely out of the Ravens' inside linebacker rotation following the Week 14 bye, and was limited to special teams during Baltimore's two-game postseason run. Simpson finished 2024 regular season with 73 tackles, 40 solo, 1.5 sacks, and 4 passes defended, and 1 fumble recovery across 17 games. So, yes, Trent Simpson is on the hot seat. How do you spell hot? Buchanan. How do you spell hot? I can't think of the linebacker from Memphis. How do you spell hot? The other linebacker from Iowa. I ain't really worried about Holm or however you say his name. I ain't really worried about him. But them three young bulls, he need to be worried about them. Buchanan, the linebacker the UDFA from Memphis and the UDFA from Iowa. You better be worried about them 3. Better be. Definitely about Buchanan. Definitely. So I think all 7 of these or so. I think so. Let me go back to the yes. Lamar, no. Voorhees, yes. Ojabu, yes. Todd Monken, yes. Harbaugh, yes. Trent Simpson, yes. So I agree with 5 of them. The 2 I don't agree with is Malachi Starks and Lamar Jackson. So those are the 2 I don't agree with. But the 5 of them I do agree with. All right. So let me close out the ones I've done so I don't pop them back up again. All right, the next one. And this is from Yahoo Sports. They've dropped out there and produced a 53-man roster that they think is going to make the roster. Now, this is not my 53-man roster. This is theirs. So let's go through and kind of see. And for the most part, most of us will have similar takes about it. There'll be 1 or 2 that may not happen, especially depending on, like, do you keep a third quarterback or 2 quarterbacks or 6 receivers or 11 O-line. It just depends on how you feel in that thing like that. So, but let's look at the Yahoo Sports projected 53-man roster for the Baltimore Ravens. All right, 2 quarterbacks. Lamar Cooper Rush. Devin Leary's probably going to go practice squad, so that's understandable. And then you can have that third quarterback as an emergency quarterback anyway. So I think even though you put Leary on the practice squad, I still think he's a factor in that because of that emergency quarterback designation on game days. All right, running backs 5, and they include the fullback in this one as well. Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, Rasheed Ali, Pat Ricard. And this is for the 53, not the practice squad now. This is for the 53. I don't think Rasheed Ali makes it. I think they just keep these 3 and Pat Ricard. I personally do. I think Rasheed Ali goes to the practice squad. I think Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, Pat Ricard, those are your running backs, so to speak. I think Rasheed Ali goes to the practice squad, and if he gets picked up from there, I don't know. But I don't think he make the 53. I don't think he make it. All right, wide receivers. They got 6. Zay, D-Hop, Bateman, Wester, Tez, and Wallace. I think most of us are in agreement that these will probably be the 6. These will probably be the 6. And with the bulk of the load going to, as far as the receiving load, going to Zay Flowers, D-Hop, Bateman, and Tez Walker. and then Tylen Wallace and LeJounte Wester being some of your special teams players. That's what I think it looks like. Starting off unless somebody gets hurt. Even though I like Miller and what Miller did last year, I don't know if he cracks that. And if he does crack it, if Miller does crack this top 6, I think Wester is the one that goes to practice squad. And if Wester goes to practice squad, I think somebody gonna pick him up ASAP. And that's why I think he make it over Miller, because if Miller go to the practice squad, he might can stay there. If Wester go, somebody gonna pick him up ASAP. ASAP. All right, tight ends. We all know these 3 tight ends. Kolar, Likely, Andrews. Those gonna be our 3. So it ain't really much a debate when it goes there or comes to those guys. Look how big Falele is over Zay. Sheesh. Like the mountain. All right, 10 O-linemen. Linderbaum, Falele, Voorhees, Rojan Gardner, Stanley. Those are your starters. Note Boone, who we picked up. Dillinger, who we drafted. Saymac was the backup center-ish last year, but he was always on game day. He was always inactive. Emory Jones and Carson Vincent. Those are the guys. And the bottom 3 are guys we drafted. Note Boone we signed from the Rams. So I think that's solid. I mean, I know most people want this guy out of there, but like we always talk about, stop wasting your breath, because he's not coming out until he actually fails. He don't have to literally fail for them to take him out. He got his spot locked in. The only spot is open is left guard, and I think wait a minute. I don't see Ben Cleveland's name on here. Oh yeah, I disagree with that. Ben Cleveland gonna be on here. So that means Saymac probably not gonna be on here. Saymac or Dillinger. One of them 2 not gonna be on here. Ben Cleveland gonna be on this list. I don't. If they let Ben Cleveland go, that's a travesty. Because Ben is your second best center. Probably your second or first guard. And probably your 4th best tackle. He's your second best center behind Linderbaum. In my words, he's your best guard. And he's probably your 4th best tackle behind Stanley, Note Boone, and Rosengarten. So cutting Ben Cleveland to me makes no sense. None. And he's on a 1-year deal. So if he go in there and play and do good stuff for you, you got a comp pick coming back. Let's keep rolling. D-line. Matter BK, Broderick Washington, Aeneas Peoples, CJ Ravenel, Travis Jones. I need to pull up my thing. Because I had different names in there other than Ravenel. I had Travis Jones, Peoples, Broderick Washington, Matter BK. I don't think I had Ravenel in there. I don't think. Where's my roster? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me find my roster. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. I'll show y'all. What's this? This is June, so it's probably in May. Go find my May stuff. May 2025. Where is that picture? So I guess I didn't have it in May. But I had a list of all the players we had up until a certain point. Let me check March, then I'll be done with it. 316, 325, 318. Let me look at 318. 318 may have it. Where's defense? Oh, that's offense. All right, here we go. I got it. Oh, no. Might be Ravenel. Yeah, Ravenel was in that number. I did all that for nothing. Ravenel is in that number. He is in that number. My bad. I did all that for nothing. But I think Travis and Matt BK are your stars. I think Broderick comes in and does what he needs to do. Peoples will be like a third down package guy, and then Ravenel will just be bringing up the rear. John Jenkins. Thank you, Cam. That's who it is. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate it. So now, because John Jenkins ain't on my list, so that's exactly who it is. Thank you, Cam and Ty. So get Ravenel out of there. Get Ravenel out of there. John Jenkins. Thank you. That I knew it was another name because I didn't have Ravenel in there, and so John Jenkins just not on my list. That's what it is. Because that one from March, I can't find the more frequent ones I did. I need to update it anyway. But yeah, CJ Ravenel, get out of there. John Jenkins. So Matter BK, Broderick Washington, Peoples, John Jenkins, Travis Jones. And keep in mind, John Jenkins is old, and the people are really age hating on John Jenkins. But he had one of his best years last year with a abundance of snaps that he won't have to play this year. He played a crap load of snaps last year, and he won't have to play that many snaps this year for us. And I still think we'll get some quality reps out of Jenkins. So Ravenel, in my opinion, out. Jenkins is in on that one. Edge rushers: Mike Green, David Ojabo, international roster exemption, Adafi Owe, Adisa Isaac, Tavius Robinson. I don't have no quarries with that. I don't know what to do about Ojabo. Injured Bo. I just don't know. I don't know. Mike Green, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see if Adafi Owe can reproduce what he did last year. Calvin Oy just lead the pack. And then Adisa Isaac, we don't know yet. But I really, 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 really like Tavius Robinson. What he does versus the run and the little bit that he gives you in the pass rush. I like the development of Tavius Robinson into the role that he has. And I think John was on something. And he was talking about they had a guy that later round pick that came in and did XYZ better than the first round pick. And then the later round pick that ended up being one of their guys over the first round pick. I wholeheartedly think he was talking about Tavius Robinson over David Ojabo. Over Odafe Owe. I think. I do. But he didn't say no names, so that's just me assuming. I'll go to linebacker. Trenton Simpson, Roquan Smith, Jake Hummel, Teddy Buchanan. I don't think Jake's going to make it. Just from looking at some of the stuff from the kid from Memphis and the kid from Iowa, I think Jake Hummel get cut. And one of them two UDFAs make it. I do. I really think one of them two UDFAs make it and make the team. And then cornerback, Nate Wiggins, Jaire Alexander, Awuzie, TJ Tampa, Marlon Humphreys, and Bilal Kone. This little note at the bottom says the addition of Jaire Alexander forces Robert Longerbeam to the practice squad in his rookie season, and JADIR to the waiver wire. So according to them, Bilal Kone will make it, and Jalen Norman Davis is going to be cut. That's an interesting battle right there. Because, at one point, Jalen Norman Davis was running with the ones. It was by force, not by choice, but he was running with the ones. So this is going to be interesting to see if Jalen Norman Davis can stay in one of the top sixes and make the team. It's going to be interesting to see. But after him being there a couple years, and then you got two rookies right there, it's going to be tough for them. If they on the same plane, Jalen Norman Davis on the same plane with Kone and Longerbeam, he got to go because you go with the young guys. That's just simple football math. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. In the safety room, Sanusi Kane, Bo Braid, Malachi Starks, Kyle Hamilton. With Ardarius being hurt, Sanusi Kane and Bo Braid, one of you guys has the opportunity to make a huge impact. We know Malachi's probably going to start alongside Kyle Hamilton, but when they do that 3 safety look, one of these two guys is going to have to come in unless another corner goes back there and does it. Because you can still go. You can use Marlon like a safety. With TJ Tampa's size, you can use him like a safety. And if you stick Marlon back there at like that third safety, even though it's still gonna be a DB, you still got Nate, Jaire, and Awuzie, or TJ Tampa. So you got a lot to play with. Zach Orr. Then your 3 special team guys, Tyler Loop, Jordan Stout, and Nick Moore will round that out. We more than halfway there. More than halfway there. What we got next? Overlooked. Let's go to overlooked. Before I do that, who is the player that you guys think that they're talking about as one of the most overlooked players on the Baltimore Ravens squad? So while I'm transitioning, and I'll kind of see I'll see your comments because I can see it right here. Who do you guys think is the overlooked player that this article is talking about? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know y'all probably wondering like about my finger. Let me tell you about me. I was hooping one day, long time ago when I could hoop, and I shot the ball or something, and dude hit my finger, and they was like, "Man, look at your finger." My finger was pointed that direction. Well, me being a competitor I am, I slapped it down and just kept on hooping, and kind of forgot about it. Then when I finally went to the doctor, they was like, "We can't fix that unless we break it again." Like, don't worry about it. Don't fix it. It ain't stopping nothing. One finger ain't stopping no show. But the overlooked player. Let's get back to that. Keaton Mitchell. He says Keaton Mitchell is being overlooked. That would be Keaton Mitchell, son of Anthony Mitchell, who helped the Ravens win Super Bowl in 2000 with a key block field goal. Return for a touchdown in the AFC divisional round against Tennessee Titans. Baltimore scooped Mitchell up in undrafted free agency in 2023. The speedy back came in and made an impact on Baltimore's high-powered offense in his rookie season, rushing for 396 yards and 2 touchdowns in 8 games. And at the time, Keaton Mitchell was averaging like 7-8 yards a pop when he got hurt. Unfortunately, Mitchell, and I was at the game when he tore his ACL too in Jacksonville. Unfortunately, Mitchell suffered a torn ACL just as he was getting going, and it limited him in 2024 while Justice Hill took the majority of the snaps as the number 2 back behind Henry. Mitchell only played in 5 games last year. Now Mitchell fully recovered from the torn ACL, and we all know that they say you can come back after 1, but you really get your stuff back after 2 years, and this will be his 2nd year. Could factor into the Ravens' plans at running back. His speed and burst are a combination you cannot keep off the field. Mitchell could be a guy the Ravens turn to as Henry's successor. I've always said that. Justice Hill is good for what he does, but as far as handing the ball off and being the read option type stuff with Lamar, Henry's the number 1. But I think it's Mitchell. Because if a linebacker overplays something or angle ain't right, that boy hitting his head on the goalpost. Mitchell's biggest runs came behind John Simpson. And we know how trash he was. Simply because Simpson got to the right spot and got in the way, and by the time the defender could adjust, Keaton Mitchell was saying, "See you later. Beep, beep." Like Speedy Gonzalez. Beep, beep, boom. So, yeah, I definitely think Keaton Mitchell should be the 2 behind. I think the only thing Justice Hill got on Keaton Mitchell is pass pro. And Justice Hill wasn't always good at pass pro. He wasn't always good at pass. I see y'all putting in the comment section. Yeah, Justice Hill wasn't always good at pass pro. He did a complete 360 in pass pro last year. Because the year before that, he was not good at all. We highlighted some of those games on the channel as well. But last year, he was solid in pass pro. Mitchell just got to get better at pass pro so he can get on the field and get some more reps. We got one more topic we're going to hit for today. One more. Oh, the lead-in. The reason for the thumbnail. Ravens media team equals A+. Let's go over here to Ravens.com. Ravens Productions wins a record 13 Emmys. And we all know we love Wired and the things that they do when they produce stuff. So I think this is warranted for the media team to get 13 Emmys because we have some fire behind the scenes content. We don't have enough, but we can never have enough behind the scenes content. The more they give us, the more we're gonna ask for. But our Wired are very adequately produced. They're visually stunning. When they changed and the guy started using the sound effects with the video, like the different effects and like blocking out crowd noise and just using like the whoosh, stuff like that, man, that whoever hired him, they did one. They did. And I don't know if his name on this list because I don't know his name, but whoever that dude was is special. So I'm gonna try to name all 13. I'm gonna say they got 13 Emmy Awards among 15 nominations. So they didn't lose but 2. It's the most the group has ever won, topping last year's 11. So they improved on last year. They got 13. It says winning 13 Emmys is not only a reflection of their hard work, but also of our commitment to storytelling in a way that's authentic, engaging, and deeply connected to our fans. I agree with that because I be locked into them. I don't know about y'all, but I be locked into them. We're honored to work for an organization that values high quality content and supports our mission to highlight players, the team, and the culture that make the Ravens special. 100% agree with that. So hats off to the Wire crew. Let me see if I got something for them over here. Do I? Oh, I do have something for them. So one time for the Wire crew. So here are the winners. Short story, short form content. Christmas in Houston. I was at that game. The wire for that was great. Sports pregame live, sports one-time special, Inside Ravens training camp, sports opener tease, lock the gate. Oh, this one was fire. I hope I don't get in trouble for playing this one. Oh, I got it. Hold on.
SeatGeek presents.
Oh, another. Come on with the ads, man. Always ads. Ads.
What time is it? Down with a tumble. And the place is going Ravens. And don't intercept it.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends of the Baltimore Ravens.
Touchdown, Ravens, and the miracle is answered. It's our will versus their will. Ain't no betting no noise 1,000 times out of 1,000.
From the
Lamar's in! Touchdown, Ravens! Jay Flowers! And it's the game! Who has it better than us? Show the world exactly who we are.
Tell me if though just that's from week 2. Don't get your blood boiling and ready to go, and we ain't playing. Like I'm sitting there with chills, just watching that, ready for the season to come back and have stuff to root for and watch and do all that. And that's from week 2. We lost the game week 2 to the Raiders, but that's from week 2, and that's just how, like, with them doing what they do, if that something that's that old can still have the hairs on your arm standing up and get you fired up to go and I won't say root, but the football player in me still wants to say play or run through a wall and stuff like that. That's great. Because all of the wires, all of the, like the pre-game, not the pre-game, like the little stuff they put out like a day before the game, and they name them chapter 1, chapter 2, and all that, depending on the week. They have me fired up. And even if we lost some bullcrap game the week before, those things have me fired up. They do. And so shout out to the Ravens media team for the 13 Emmys that they won out of 15 categories. And salute to those guys for doing their job and handling their business, because the work that they do is freaking awesome. It is totally awesome. So with that being said, that's all I have for y'all on the Daily Show today. I appreciate all you guys for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. I want to say shout out to MJ, Jeremiah, Stacy, Ed, TY. Hold on, TY just said something. Hold on, where it is. Put that up there. See if I can put that up there. Just give me some breaking news, T.Y. Appreciate you. Let's see. Now he says Trent is 32, which will be a second number change for him. Jaire is 23. Awuzie is 3. And Bo Braid is 25. Okay. If that's correct, those are new numbers. I'll check it out once I end this. But I appreciate you, T.Y., for breaking that news for me. I'm glad you made it, Lisa.
Better late than never, but
Never late is better.
They tell me time is money.
That's all. Glad you made it before we got up out here. But with that being said, appreciate you, T.Y., for breaking that news. Stacy, OJ, Pimp, TGIF, Radies, Cam. Trying to make sure I don't miss nobody that I see. And Jeremiah W. On that note, man, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace and love. Okay, I'm going to go check it out.